Today we're going to be doing a point of view drive on my Mitsubishi Evo 7. Welcome to the channel, my name is Alex, and if you're new, this is my dream car that I bought. It's an Evo 7 and it's an import edition, as you can tell from the front number plate placement. They did a generation of 1 to 10, all the way up to the 9. They had the same engine, and 10th is its own generation, trying to finish off what its legacy was. So I bought this car 5 months ago, absolutely love it. It's not to everyone's liking. The Evo 7s have this very much unusual bumper. You can see here, I know it's quite far, but the fins aren't to everyone's liking. These are a 4-cylinder turbocharged 2-litre engine, producing 280 horsepower depending on the model. They range from anything from the 260 all the way up to the 340, and I believe there is a 360 version as well. The Evo 10s, they have a different one, but I won't be going over that. As you can see, nice black colour. It's got Enki wheels, and then it's got a nice wing on the back, as you can see. So modifications been done to this. The only thing performance wise, it's had a full exhaust all the way front cat back. It's got an induction kit, and I think that's pretty much it. There's not really much else modified on this. Everything is pretty much bone stock. The previous owner I did buy this off told me it was mapped to around 350 brake, but that was back in, well, 2005, and this car was imported in 2005, so we're stretching 20 years since then, which is a crazy old time, but really nice looking car. And I had a private plate put on, which I forgot to mention in the other video, but we got B25 Evo, which just makes it stand out that little bit better. It's a 5-seater. It's a bit dark in here, but you can see. And one thing Mitsubishi do like is seats. So I had a set of Recaros in my ST, absolutely loved them. And these seats, it kind of drew me to the sale with this one, because it's got this nice black and blue, really comfortable, a nice steering wheel. But yeah, I will now show you the engine bay. So this here is the legendary 4G63T, which is basically a 2-litre inline 4 with a turbocharger, and they're front mounted on these. But yeah, there's not a lot going on in this engine bay. Obviously I'm missing the strut brace because I'm respraying that. Everything is pretty simple in these cars, which I like, because everything modern and new just has so much going on. There is a lot here, but you can get the engine bay pretty naked when you take the battery out, relocate stuff. It's a really smart engine bay. I added this induction kit, it's from the last episode, you'll see. But yeah, I'll stop waffling now and we'll just go for a drive. Apologies about the door card. You'll know that obviously my window motor has decided to die on me. If you haven't already, go watch that episode. I'll leave it linked in at the end of this video, or you can go ahead and just basically find it on my profile. Let's start her up. Start her up. So yeah, everything is pretty nice in here. They do like to make nice Japanese cars. I think that's why a lot of people tend to go back to the Evo, because it's an all-wheel drive system. It's perfect size, it's really nice to drive, and they just make absolute amazing track cars. It comes with a H style gearbox, the GSR edition. Oh, so we're gonna move. Oh, the big boy's coming through. Oh, guess that'll teach me. The guy was very polite, but asking what I was doing. Alright, yep, that made me shit myself. Thought I was in trouble. Rightio. So yeah, manual 5-speed box. The boxes on these are excellent. Really like these. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse, which is a bit funky. This is an older car, so obviously stuff will go wrong. So yeah, let's start the drive as we go now. So obviously being an import, indicators on the right. This really threw me off when I actually bought the car. Alright, that's a bit loud. So I'm still very new to the Evo scene, so one thing I must say, trying to find modifications that match this is like a massive database. There's loads of aftermarket mods, but it's not like your standard new cars. You can just get an email and get a mod, like a remap sent to you. This is like old school, right? So it does have an OBD2, this model, but there isn't a lot you can do with it. Most of the time you need to buy a standalone, like a Link ECU or something like that, which I plan to do in the future, is to modify this car, because it's pretty good from standard. I wouldn't say it's very modern at all. It's still got this old kind of kinks to it. Like, it's got all this kind of climate control and stuff like that, which is really nice, but it's still an old car. Like, one thing I'm not really too sure on is each gear is pretty aggressive, and then you get to fifth and it's not quite. When it does come on boost, it does come on usually about 3 grand. Obviously it's a little bit bigger than most turbos, but Mitsubishi knew what they were doing when they were building these. I don't know if the video can catch it up, but it does sound really nice. Like, even the stock suspension handles really nice, you know? And the noise it makes from when it hits boost is, oh, beautiful. One thing I've noticed compared to the Fiesta, obviously 2 different cars. The Fiesta does have a lot of power, but you have to build it to the level that it's at to actually be as quick as most modern cars now. You know, front wheel drive, but this all-wheel is lovely. Goes through corners quite nicely. You don't feel the back end kick out as much. Obviously it's a bit different in the wet, but that's like any car, you know? That's one thing I can't wait to do, is to upgrade the suspension on this. Do some proper coilovers, some wider wheels, because the wheels sit quite deep into the car. You know, they're not flush fitment, but obviously you can get some pretty big, like, J-set wheels on these. So this is probably the part of the video that you've all probably skipped to, but I'm going to do like a little pull now, because I've got a bit of room here. Go for the overtake. Like, this car definitely has like characters. Like, I do like newer cars, but something about these old school Japanese cars, they have like character and feel to them, you know? I might sound like really spiritual and gay about it, but it's just, you know, the day I bought this car, driving it back, it was just so good. It was like exactly how I imagined to drive one of these, because I hadn't driven one before I actually bought this car. So I was taking a real shot in the dark, but I don't regret it at all, because these cars are just awesome to drive. You can hear the like turbo kicking in at 3, and then the blow off valve kicking in. Oh, it's just such a cool car. But handling wise, I mean, it is a bit bubbly, I'd say, like going side to side, but it is like a stock suspension, and it's quite a big car, but the chassis on it is amazing, you know? Like, the weight distribution here from the front to the back all feels quite solid. Like, my Fiesta's good, but you can see like all the front and the back end likes to kick out. I know this is an all-wheel drive car, but this car as a whole is lovely. You can fit 4 people comfortably in it. You can still travel on the motorway. It's not too loud. I'm sure there's like straight pipe exhaust systems you can buy for this, which make it a lot louder than it is. But this exhaust still got a good tone to it, but it's not too loud. There's so much you can do with these, whether you want to make it a track build, or if you want to make them stupidly fast, fully forge the engine and make them anywhere between 800 horsepower or even more, depending on what your goal is, you know? Because the one thing Mitsubishi did good with this car is it has an iron block compared to like aluminium. Aluminium's good, it can dissipate heat quite easily, but with an iron block it just keeps it nice and tight, so you can go way above 600 horsepower on the block. mods on these, brilliant. I found the community, like Facebook, online groups and everything like that, really good. Like, the only problem is, cons, I think, is the price of these cars are extortionate at the moment. Really, really expensive. Like, you're looking at least probably about 20 grand plus for a really decent Evo with low mileage. Another con about this is the fuel isn't great. I mean, the tank itself, I can never tell how much fuel it's actually got. When I drove back from Kent, it was like up and down all the time. I think that's just because of just being an old car, that's what you tend to get. It also drinks a lot of fuel as well. So, I mean, I did drive back from Kent and it cost me just over £100 in fuel one way. But you tend to expect that with an older car, and it is a high performance vehicle. Lights ain't on. Oh my god, this whole time I've been driving with no lights on, I hadn't realised. For a fairly unmodified car, it is really nice. Like I said, the Fiesta, you've got to put so much into it before it feels like from a daily driver to an actual kind of like fast car. But this, as a package, when you buy from the factory, I know it's like 20 years later, they're just amazing cars all around. If you've enjoyed, please like. If you want to watch future content with the Evo or the Fiesta, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if so, I'll see you in the next video. So I'll see you guys later.